right.
All right, what's your name?
My name's Elliot.
Where are you from?
I'm from here, Salt Lake City, Utah.
And where we're right in
Yeah,
Salt
we're
Lake.
we're right in Salt Lake
Do
City,
you
Utah.
live downtown?
I don't live downtown, but I live like in the surrounding area.
Okay.
If I said the city I'm from, like most people probably wouldn't know.
You can say it if you want.
I'm from. Well, I live in Riverton now,
Riverton.
but it's like 30 minutes away, which is
Okay.
technically not really Salt Lake City anymore. But
yeah.
I think everybody in Utah's so obsessed with like separating all the different cities that it's like, yo, we're never gonna get big enough to be like a bigger market if everyone's like, oh, it's not Salt Lake City.
You believe in
It's South Salt Lake. It's like, come on, bro.
one
Yeah,
Salt Lake.
come on. Yeah.
One Salt Lake government.
Exactly. I mean, the
Okay.
county is still Salt Lake County, so
Okay.
you know.
When you were, let's say, 10 years old, what was the technology in your house that was like new?
To me, when I was 10 years old, we didn't even, I don't know if we had internet. It was always like on and off. Because like
Wow.
to me, internet at that time was like a luxury.
Okay.
And even having like a good computer, I remember we'd go to like the public library to
And
play
you-
Minecraft.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
you were playing Minecraft.
on the public library.
Were you
yeah.
like a fighting or like survival or like building shit?
I was probably incompetent at both.
You were just-
I'd say-
At the library, I definitely did.
Yeah,
I-
like RuneScape. We played RuneScape at the
Oh,
library
nice.
growing up.
Yeah.
But not Minecraft. Okay, and did you like the computers?
I've always been into like computer technology.
You still into
know.
computers?
I'd say so, yeah.
You think technology is broadly a positive thing?
I would say yes, absolutely.
Yes,
100%.
definitely positive.
100%.
What about AI specifically? Do you use AI
I use AI almost on the daily.
on the daily? Which
Yeah.
AIs are you using?
I've bounced between a couple just to see like which one's the best. I used to use ChatGPT a lot, and then as of recently, I've switched more to Claude for work, and then for just personal queries, I just use Gemini.
You using browser? Do you use like Cowork or Claude Code or Codex?
Just the browser.
Just the browser.
Yeah.
And like so queries, what type of queries?
So for Gemini, usually it's just like personal questions. Like when I have car problems, I'll ask it,
Okay.
yo, this is what's happening. I'll give it some context, and then I'll see what it spits out. For Claude, I use it more for writing, just because I think it's a little bit more focused in, and it can keep track of like the history better. But yeah.
Got it. So you're not like an extreme power user, but you're a decent user.
Sure.
You're a daily user.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm not like coding on it, or I don't think I've ever had to like buy tokens for Claude, but I have like the subscription.
You have a subscription.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
did you have a chance to use Mythos or Fable?
I've heard about it, but I don't think what I use it for is really like
It wouldn't
necessary.
even matter. It was the new model that came out like 2 weeks ago, but it got banned by the U.S. government.
The one that was like too powerful.
You've heard about this.
I've definitely heard about it.
What do
yeah.
you think about this? The government, some people are saying they didn't actually ban it because it was too powerful, it was politics, but let's assume they did ban it because it was too powerful.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is it too powerful? And if it was, should they ban it?
I think right now AI is in kind of a sticky situation because
Okay.
there's not a lot of laws around it, and so
Not many regulations.
yeah, and so I mean I don't know exactly why it was banned. Supposedly, I do know that like Anthropic refused to do some work for the government, and so they like switched to OpenAI,
this
and then so they're saying
and this might be an extension of all of that political stuff.
sure. So I don't really know exactly to what content or to what context it is like banned because of, but I think that's a tricky question, man.
Well, let's take a step back.
Okay.
Have you heard of extinction risk? Sorry, sir.
Extinction risk?
Yeah, extinction risk. Have you heard of extinction risk to humanity?
Because of AI?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in it?
Not really. I think largely people kind of hype up AI to be more than it is. I think it's definitely a cool tool, but it's kind of like crypto. Crypto is cool because it's a decentralized platform or this and this, and it's trackable, and to a certain extent, it is cool technology. But crypto is not going to replace saving files on your computer. Crypto is not going to replace the medical files or the way people store things.
And that relates to AI extinction.
I think AI right now is in a spot where it's kind of very buzzwordy. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, AI is going to replace this. AI is going to replace that." And I think largely, we haven't seen it get to that point.
Okay.
Like the best analogy.
Do you think you're sorry?
No,
please.
you're all good. The best analogy I've heard for like AI, at least in the way I use it, is like a word calculator. Like if you plug in certain numbers and you know how to use it, it'll give you a good answer way faster than you would have been able to do it by hand. But I don't really necessarily think it's gonna replace everything and anything.
Do you think you're smarter than the current best AI
Hell
models?
no.
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 Is there anything? Do you think like you're English? You're better at
No.
science,
No.
math,
No.
coding.
No.
What are you better than at?
Probably nothing. I mean,
How much do you think the energy to run these models costs per hour?
a lot.
You think more than how much it costs to feed you and have you have a place to sleep at night?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Is it not?
What do you think, Max?
To a single inference, like just nonstop.
Yeah, how much is the hourly inference of
I mean, like,
5
it depends on
trillion
your tokens per second, but I would say probably $1 an hour or so.
$1 an hour?
If I had to
But it
guess.
could upper bound maybe be 20 for these frontier models,
Yeah.
50.
I mean, if you're running at a lot of tokens per second.
So we're not sure. If it was producing tokens words as fast as you could write, much cheaper than you. At the rate it currently produces words, probably cheaper than it would cost for the government to support you. But we're not sure because we're not experts on this.
We should definitely do some
We should
research.
definitely do some research. We'll grind some research. We're kind of lazy. We're good at some things, bad at others. Sorry for the chat. But one thing we do know is that the cost of inference is going down at like 10x a year, more than 10x to 100x a year. So guaranteed, these things will be cheaper than you within a couple of years. 100% chance. Basically, you would agree with that?
It's already cheaper than a single person.
But like, there will be no doubt within 2 years. Would be fair to say.
I mean, the thing is, it's not embodied is the biggest.
Yeah. So, hearing all of that, thinking about that, I guess we're getting on this work topic more, which I don't really care about, but we can talk about why do you still think you'll be employed in the future?
Me personally, or people in general?
You?
I think one thing that AI right now is not good at, that humans just are better in general, I would say, is creativity.
Creativity. Do you think that's something that can never be better than you at?
I don't doubt it, but right now we're seeing a lot of things where, even in writing, right, you can see that it has a pattern
Like
of how it writes.
AI voice.
Sure, AI, exactly, AI voice. And so I think there is certain value to having humans in it to a certain
Do
extent.
you think in 3 years you'll still be more creative than AI, and also that AI someone won't have figured out a way to not make it have like this AI voice anymore?
It might not have that AI voice, but there's still people who don't like prompt it, right? I mean,
Have you ever couldn't you just have the AI prompt itself?
kind of like sentient life is what we're getting at.
Well, I'm just saying like the idea of, well, you can just type into the AI, hey, you're the manager now. Whenever I turn you on, immediately read all of the data and just start prompting yourself or manage a bunch of other agents. Have you ever thought about this?
I guess I haven't really thought about it to that extent. I've always really thought about kind of what people say, like, oh, it'll get rid of jobs, it'll get that. I think a lot of lower level jobs right now, of course, and I think to a certain extent maybe I could be caught in that, but I think then you kind of move to the
Like managerial level.
no, I'm saying, well, then, like, after let's say, okay, all the lower level jobs are gone and only the doctors and the surgeons and the top whatever most
Yeah.
important people are left, right? I think you get to the question, like, what do you do with all the regular people?
Sure. So you're already buying into that maybe it could take everyone's job,
Sure, but at that point it's
and
like,
you're just getting straight to do we deserve UBI or something? Is that you're in that stage of the coping, or I'm just trying to understand.
I get to the point where it's like, okay, like in Wall-E, people use that example all the
Yeah,
time,
of
the fat
course.
people in the chairs and
Yeah.
they just kind of eat
Yeah,
goy
yeah.
slop all day and just
Goy slop.
exist, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think of the point, it's like, to what point is do you see it as a net negative, having everybody just not have jobs?
Yeah. So like this is the question I ask everyone, which is, let's imagine we do automate the whole economy. So we have not just these AI. You already think it's smarter than you, so I guess we don't even have to cross that bridge. But let's say we also build 1 billion humanoid robots that are as dexterous as your hands. So we have all the embodiment that the hive mind needs. But they're super kind. They've given us all UBI. And in fact, more than that, we've gone exceeding the Wall-E thing where they sort of prod you like a gorilla in a zoo to do the things that you were meant to do, like shovel some dirt every day. Now, you don't have to, but they're like, you should join us in the process of working. Come to the library,
Come
sort
join our
some
community.
come sort some books.
Read some
You need to
books.
do something. Get off your ass. Like, they're that nice. Like, it's even nicer
Like
than Wall-E.
motherly.
It's motherly.
Okay.
But no one needs you for anything. I mean, you're completely unneeded. You can sit on the couch all day. Everything is going to be A-okay. How are you feeling about that world?
When do we get it, man? Take me. I think
You
to a
think it'll
cer-
be amazing?
I think it's the problem of like, rich people that get to a certain level, billionaires, right?
Okay.
And you always hear these people say, oh, well, if he's rich, why is he depressed? Or why is this? I definitely don't doubt that there is problems when you get to that level of what is my purpose in life. But I think
Just make sure the mic's on. Yeah.
I think ultimately, I've always thought the purpose of my life is to better other people's lives and have a sense of community and fulfillment.
Okay.
And I think there's plenty of ways to do that without necessarily having to be career oriented, right? I mean,
Yeah, but in this case, no matter what you could do,
an AI
the
does better.
robot could do it better. So you can go and you can help your grandma, and then technically you would have helped your grandma. Counterfactually, she would have actually been better off if you didn't help her, because the robots would have helped her better than you ever could have.
Right. So,
But you would get to do that. You could say you helped your grandma. Wow.
but I think it's taking away from your personal fulfillment in it. Sure, a robot could help my grandma
Don't
better.
you think your grandma would prefer that you help her, even if the robot?
The
does a
robot
good
can
job?
look just like you. Like it can trick your grandma into thinking it's
Like,
you.
well, let's say this,
All
right?
right.
Let's say this, right? Like, let's say my fulfillment comes from talking to people and interacting with people, right? There could be a robot that looks exactly like you, and could be smarter than you. It could be more informed. Doesn't have to look up what the cost of of running a server is, right? But to a certain point, when do I say, well, it just brings me joy talking to you. It just brings me joy doing things
and
with
knowing
you.
that I'm a human.
And knowing that you're a
But
human.
what if it was like pretty close to me? Like we actually figure out how to make almost like synthetic humans
Mm.
that are they're quite human-like.
Right.
They have some of the flaws of humans, but they're like 10 times cheaper or something.
Sure, but again, I think I've never had like a very doomer look on this. I've always thought of the positives, right? Let's say okay, it is cheaper, and everybody at this Panda Express is going to be a robot, and everybody I interact with is going to be on the robot, and everything, I think there's a certain point where you just say like, yo, I'm gonna just live my life,
Like I want humans around,
Sure,
or more like I'm okay with all of the robots and I'm just gonna accept everything. Which one are you saying?
I'm going to try to persevere and find happiness in my life, whether there's robots or no robots, right? Like, let's say I'm really into fashion and design.
Yeah,
right?
like you'll be really working
Sure.
on that stuff.
Sure, yeah, a robot could do it better than me, right? A robot could have more creative ideas than me, or whatever. But going and sitting down at home and picking out different fabrics and making different clothes and showing to different people and getting their opinions, that will always be something that brings me fulfillment.
Yeah, and
So-
like that will still be there.
Sure.
And if anything, you'll have more time to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I've never seen it as a negative, because I think there's always a way to find a positive in it. And you could look at it with this attitude of, oh, if they replace everybody and then nobody needs anyone and then the whole world's going to go extinct because it's only going to be robots. It's like, we have an expiration date,
Yeah.
we
all are gonna die.
right? So, I mean, you could either
Sure.
choose to be here 100 years and be miserable and hate everything, or you could say, it's crazy that I live in a generation where I've been provided the most comfort of anyone on humanity, and I'm the last one out, and I appreciate everything that's been done. We finished the book, close the chapter, y'all take over from now.
You're down for the worthy successor.
I don't know if I'm
If
down.
the AI was more friendly and more moral than us.
I don't know if I'm down for it, but I don't know if I have a choice in it either.
Well, let's say you did have a choice.
Okay.
And the successor AI
Mm.
will be more moral. It will be friendlier, kinder, whatever. Treat the life on this planet much better than we have.
Mm.
Sustainable, all of that sense.
Mm.
For sure, 100%.
Okay.
Should we get replaced? As the top dog. We don't have to all get murdered. Like, we can
Yeah.
still live here.
Just
But
die out slowly, and then
or
they have
maybe
them
not
take
even
over.
die off, but just we lose control. Like they leave us as we are, but it's kind of like a zoo, right?
Mm.
Like we don't actually have any control. They're going to go off into the solar system. They're going to colonize everything. They're going to use a bunch of the sun's energy. They'll keep enough for us to maintain, but we're not in control anymore. Humans.
So would I rather have that, or just have the world continue as it is?
Or have humans being in control, that we're going to be the ones that go off into the solar system. We decide who's in control of Earth, which we have our wars, right? Like this AI, it's not going to put up with our wars. It's going to say, stop fighting each other. Here's your minimum slop allotment. And I'm going to go fuck off to Mars. But right now, like the US and the China, we're like, I want to be in charge. You want to be in charge. We're fighting and all of this stuff. And like, we're trying to jockey for control. Humans are still the top dog, trying to play these power games.
Yeah.
You know.
Now let me ask you a question. Okay, let me spin it back on you.
Yeah, spin it back on me.
If everything you're saying is true, why wouldn't I choose humans? Right? Like what is the moral argument for keeping humans in control? Because at this point you're saying there's no negatives, 100%, everything is going to be better with AI. So I think it's being between choosing something that I know is better for everybody, 100% guaranteed, or being selfish, saying, no, well, I think there's still humanity that needs to persevere. So if you were to explain that further and you were to kind of spin the scenario into a would you rather, okay, what is the downside that you would propose on this perfect world where the AI takes over?
Just that you love humanity and you believe humanity.
No, I'm saying like if you had to put a negative on the humanity or on the AI part, what would that be? So
well,
it's a little bit easier.
In the real situation, we wouldn't actually know that the AI is better than us, and It would be very flawed to think that we have any sort of idea if we're better or they're better, considering how little we know about anything. I would say that's the real situation. In this hypothetical situation where I'm saying the AI certainly is a better species than us, the only real downside is that you love humanity and you truly just want humans to be in control of Earth, right? Things will be worse, but you just want humans to have Earth and be in control of Earth or the solar system. Now, is that right? I think that's up to you to decide. It seems to be that you're very morally agnostic, or like you're cosmopolitan. Like you're agnostic to species. You're not like a nationalist, or like you're not like a tribalist for humans. Like you're willing to cede power to another species if they're better. Maybe I'm a little bit tribalist or speciesist, and I would like humans to remain control of Earth, even if I knew there were and have our own freedom and free will to decide how Earth goes, even if another species was more worthy of us, of resources. Do we have to go soon?
I would say that we still would be in control, right? The founding fathers are not alive today, but this is still the United States.
You're saying because they're our baby, we're in control. So you would consider control if it brutally tortured you to death and tortured all of us to death, but because it was your baby, because we made it.
It is your baby. I mean, you made it, and
it's an interesting definition of control.
If it ends up screwing you over, you kind of participated in the creation of it, and you now suffer the consequences. I mean, it's just like voting, right? You could say, well, I don't have a voice because I'm just one vote. Buddy, whatever side you voted for, it contributed to whatever.
So it's all our fault anyway, and thus we're in control.
Sure.
I mean, okay. I wouldn't say, to me, that's like not the most useful definition of control, but I will say your overall perspective has been very interesting, where it feels, I don't know, let me try to paraphrase sort of your perspective. You're uncertain but willing to believe that things could fall apart. You're not confident. You well, actually, to be clear, you did start by saying you think extinction risk is really unlikely.
Yes.
So you don't think, let's actually get back to that then. You don't think there's a big chance, sorry, yeah, you were about to say.
I was going to say, at the current state AI is and how it's moving, no, I don't think that I'm in risk of seeing extinction in my lifetime. I don't think that I'm going to have to worry about when I'm 65, I'm the last human is going to be alive.
So let's talk through specifics though, because you did say that you think the thing's smarter than you.
Sure.
Why do you think humans are the most powerful species on Earth?
Yeah.
Why do you think humans are the most powerful species on Earth?
Because we've built up to how we are. Like if we're talking about just like
because we have this big society,
natural selection. I mean, we don't really have a lot of the problems that you would face.
We have a society with technology that gives us power.
Sure.
How did we get this? Why don't gorillas have gorilla society with nukes?
Evolution. I would say that they're not smart enough.
They're not smart enough.
Yeah.
Right, like gorillas don't know how to can't learn science.
Yeah.
Or it would be, we haven't figured out how to teach gorillas science yet.
Yeah.
But humans can learn math and science.
Correct.
I'm kind of walking you through this a little bit, but like, you would agree that humans are able to build all of this because we're smart?
Sure.
And you just said
If
that
AI
the
is
AI is
smarter,
smarter than you.
it can make things that are beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, so it can make things beyond our comprehension.
Yeah.
So presumably also like more powerful military technology. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So something that can build more powerful military technology, you don't think that could kill us, or you think it will build more powerful military technology, but it will definitely be like in control of humans, or if not in control in like a lab where we have it locked up, you think we will have trained it so that it is corrigible? It's like a genie in a box and wants to listen to its masters, or maybe it's aligned to our morals, like it just agrees with us. Sorry, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but which of those do you think is going to happen, or do you think it's going to kill us
Let me
all?
break it down piece by piece. I think like what you're saying is essentially like it could make a horror of mass destruction. You know,
It can make massive in something way crazier than nukes.
and if it gets past what we're able to control, that could be a problem because then it decides our fate.
Well, I don't know. It's you just said it wasn't. You don't think we're all going to die for sure.
Sure.
You also said you think it's smarter than you right now. Probably, I'm assuming you think it'll be smarter than all humans pretty soon.
Sure.
So it's going to be smarter than any of our scientists pretty soon. It will be able to make like nanotechnology or like quadruple nukes or whatever the fuck. Right. So, okay, we're at this point. Imagine we're like 5 years in the future and this AI is able to build these super complicated weapons, right? Walk me through what is it? Where is the AI going to be? Where are the weapons going to be? Who controls the AI? Will the AI be want to serve humans? I'm just trying to understand your worldview and why you think you will be alive when you're 65.
Sure. That's interesting. I've never really thought about it like that. And I think you put it in a way where you follow the thinking a lot further than I have. And so for me to say, why I believe these things, I think it more so just goes back on my overall outlook on life.
You're just a positive, optimistic person.
Sure. I would like to believe that no matter what happens, I'm not the type of person to give up. And so I'm just going to keep looking for a way to get through it. And I trust that there's people who are probably a little bit smarter than me who are thinking through these problems and thinking about ways of being 10 steps ahead so that it doesn't accidentally,
You think
there's not going to be a moron like me programming the guy who's programming the
You think the
super
people in
nukes.
charge are very on their stuff and we're totally...
I would hope so. I don't know for a fact, but I would hope so.
If I told you that a bunch of experts do not feel that way, they're a little bit freaked out and think that we're not totally sure what's going on. They don't think we're necessarily all going to die. It's more just like we don't really know. Would that be surprising? Would that freak you out a little bit? Or you think like they're wrong, like the humans, like we do? I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a complex question that I've never really pondered upon.
And
I've pondered upon, okay, well, like if it replaces everybody, then what are we doing? And I kind of came to the conclusion of, if it replaces everything and every job and everyone, just do whatever we want. Humans will have free run to be creative and build things and do things, and the ones who want to lay around and do nothing won't have the societal burden of feeling like they're failures in life, because everybody who doesn't want to be a failure in life has the choice of not being one, and everyone who wants to be, well, you can go and lay in a hole and die somewhere, and it won't be up to me. It won't matter to me because the society is going to run perfectly smooth.
I love that perspective. It's super positive. Let's just finish on a few last questions here. Do you think machines can be conscious?
I think it depends on how we're defining consciousness.
Okay, well, it internally, it feels like something to be you. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And you have sometimes you feel happy and sad.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be super specific here about what we mean by consciousness, but something like that.
Okay.
Like you have this internal experience of
Sentience.
being alive, sentient,
Being alive.
Sentience. There's a bunch of different things floating around, and I don't want to be super specific, but I think we all have our own definition, but they're somewhere in a similar place. And I'm not saying it will be conscious in the exact same way as you, but some form of consciousness.
Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion, computers cannot be conscious, but they can.
We get the training's in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
So you don't think they can be conscious?
I don't think they'd be conscious, but I think they can be programmed to act like
they're conscious.
Yes.
If they could be conscious, which
Yeah.
I know you said they can't, but if they could, would they deserve rights?
I think no.
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 So they can feel pain and happiness. People are allowed to torture them. I
don't think they'd be able to feel pain.
But if they could feel pain.
if they could, that would be a little bit messed up. I think there probably should be laws around.
And what about wages? Should
Um,
they have to be given wages, or should you be able to like have this computer on your brain, this brain on a computer, and run it and it feels things, feels like something for it to be alive, and just run it as much as you want, have it work as much as you want with no pay?
mm, that's a hard. I think maybe yeah, it should get compensated in some sort of
But
way.
you're not sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it does get to the point where it's sentient, I think then that kind of, like Detroit, where it's like if they do gain sentience, it's like, well, do they have the right to also be bums? When we created them so that we could be bums,
Yeah, because then they can't. Shouldn't they create something else so that they can be bums?
kicking the can down
And
the
then
road.
eventually we're out of the sun. We've used the entire sun,
Correct.
like bum spiraling.
Yeah.
So that okay, we gotta go.
You're all
Thank you.
good.